Now my perspective. Totem. That's an Ojibwe word that refers to a spirit entity that watches over, guards, protects the tribe, the clan, the family. The Ojibwe looked upon the totem as a sort of non-human ancestor, an animal. So you might belong to the clan of the bear or the wolf or some other animal. But the idea of totems is widespread. It occurs in tribal cultures on every continent. Some modern-day pagan and New Age folk who are not part of a tribal culture have used various meditative, trance work, shamanistic type techniques to discover their power animal, their totem, their animal spirit guide. The idea is that you're not going to go find one or attract one, call one to you, but you're going to discover one that is already there. Familiars. This is from the European witchcraft tradition, particularly England. During the burning times, during the time of the witch hunt crazes in Western Europe, people believed that witches had familiar spirits. These were spirit entities that obeyed the witch, that the witch controlled, sort of a household servant. A little bit like an animal version of the house elves in the Harry Potter stories. The spirit would manifest itself, would appear as an animal, a cat, a toad, an owl, some other animal. So, when you found the strange old woman and accused her of being a witch, and naturally she had a black cat as a pet, well, that proved it. So not only was the witch executed, but so was her pet cat. Both the totem or power animal, animal spirit guide, and the familiar had similar uses. However, I think they're quite different things. While the familiar seemed to have a physical form, though it was actually spirit. The totem, the power animal, the animal spirit guide, is purely a spiritual experience. I think what may have been happening with the witch's familiar is that the witches and the people who were accused of being witches, like a lot of people, have pets, have animals that they have learned to communicate with. I've never had an animal companion that I've used in spell work that I have considered to be a familiar. But I have had animals that I really felt like I could communicate with. One of them was a collie mix that I rescued from the pound and named Lassie. First time I took her from the pound, opened the car door and said "in," she jumped in as if she understood exactly what I was saying. I never worked to try to train her or teach her any special tricks, but she did seem to understand almost what I was thinking, sometimes even before I thought it, and responded to it. My wife and I currently have 3 Basenjis. Now they are a completely different breed of dog. They don't naturally respond to human command because they're very instinctual. We've recently hired the services of a personal trainer who comes out to the house, a sort of dog whisperer. And what he's done is not so much teach them to obey commands or do tricks, but teach us how to communicate with them, how to find a common language. Now, I don't know that I'm ever going to use them as familiars in spells, but I think that this may have actually been what the English witch's familiar was about. Not a spirit creature that took the form of an animal, but an animal that the witch was able to communicate with. I can't teach you anything about totems or animal spirit guides or power animals, basically because I've never done it myself, and I can't teach you what I don't know. However, I would suggest that you spend some time in the outdoors watching and getting to know some of the wild animals and learning their ways and their calls. If you have a companion animal, I would suggest that you begin learning to communicate, to find a common language, because that may really be what the European witch's familiar was, simply a companion animal that the witch was able to communicate with. So, till next time, this is Dancing Rabbit. Peace.